Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Gorgeous weekend we're having. Thank God he is good all the time. Not just because we have good weather, but because God is truly good all the time. And welcome to our Sunday morning devotion. You know, Red Story said one afternoon, it was many years ago in the latter part of the 1800s, General Robert E. Lee rode down to a canal boat landing to put on board a young lady who had been visiting his daughters and was returning home. He dismounted and tied Traveler, his war horse, to a post and was standing on the boat making his adieu when someone called out that Traveler had gotten loose. And sure enough, the gallant Gray, as he was often called, was making his way up the road, increasing his speed as a number of boys and men tried to stop him. General Lee immediately stepped ashore, called to the crowd to stand still, and advancing a few steps, gave out a particular low whistle. Immediately, Traveler stopped and pricked up his ears. The general whistled a second time, and the horse, with a glad whinny, turned and trotted quietly back to his master, who patted and coaxed him before tying him up again. To a bystander expressing surprise at the creature's docility, the general observed that he did not see how any man could ride a horse for any length of time without a perfect understanding established between them. Now I think you see my application. If that is true for man and this beast, how much truer should it be from between people who can talk to each other and talk things out and work with each other and even express out loud with an understanding of the things between them? And if true for people and true for animals, then how much surer should it be between us and our God in heaven, Jesus Christ, our Savior? Do we ride with him down the very difficult roads of life? Do we get to know him intimately? Do we truly go so close to him and know him so well that when we start to drift away, a simple whistle will stop us, get our attention, and a second, if necessary, will bring us hurrying back to him? Are we as smart as a horse? Or are we as much, or rather, do we have as much of a servant's attitude as a horse? Do we know who the master is and who we are in relation to him? Do we love our master? Do we obey him? And do we listen for his call? Have you been so close, so very close to God, that the moments were like being in heaven, that you wished they could last forever? I mean, that close. I've had those times in my life. Usually they were when I had trouble going on. What is wrong with us? But are you still there? If you're not still there in that position, who moved? Does God move? Who moves? Who moves away from whom? God is steady. God is the same. And if you've moved away, and it is you who did, if anyone moved, are you listening for his call, his whistle, that's peculiar to you, between you and him? Not a whistle for anyone else, just his whistle for you. And then what will you do when you hear it? Will your ears perk up, so glad to hear the whistle, the call from your master? Will you turn from your own ways and with a glad whinny, if you will, trot back to him with joy, just to be in his presence? Jesus said in John chapter 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Do you hear his voice? Do you recognize it? Do you respond to it? Earlier in that chapter, Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeing the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. Not of this world's delusive dream. I have renounced all sinful pleasure. Jesus is mine. There's nothing between my soul and the Savior, so that his blessed face may be seen, nothing preventing the least of his favor. Keep thy way clear, let nothing between. Nothing between, like worldly pleasure, habits of life, though harmless they seem, must not my heart from him ever sever. He is my all, and there's nothing between my soul and my Savior. Nothing between, like pride or station. Self or friends shall not intervene, though it may cost me much tribulation. I am resolved, there's nothing between. Nothing between, even many hard trials. Nothing between, though the whole world against me convene, watching with prayer and much self-denial. Triumph at last, there's nothing between my soul and my Savior, so that his blessed face may be seen, nothing preventing the least of his favor. Keep thy way clear, let nothing between. Let that be our song today and this week, that we will allow nothing between our soul and the Savior. And when we hear his whistle, when we get out of his way, when we stray from him, that we will quickly and gladly return to him. God bless you, my friends. Have a wonderful Sunday morning. As you can see, the sun is coming up on my face and kind of making a little bit of a shadow here. But there is no shadow where there is light, and there is no shadow without the light. So the shadow chases away the light, and so the Lord chases away all your fears and troubles if you will allow nothing between your soul and your Savior. God bless you. Have a great day. See you next time.